Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as always, we'll be talking about our weekly Torah portion. Actually, two weekly Torah portions, Matat-Masa, with which we complete the fourth book of Torah. So I hope all of you will be in the synagogue this week to scream Chazak, Chazak, we need Chazak. But what I want to talk to you about is about a culture. Not just culture in general, this as well, but Jewish culture in particular. Let's try to understand what it is, but before that, a short story. Many years ago, when I was still serving in the Israeli army, at night I was working in a publishing house with the permission from the army, helping with the computer graphics, IT in general, the same thing that I did in the army. And I had a co-worker over there who worked together with me in the same shift, that he was a typical Israeli, but that for him all problems of the state of Israel were only related to the Orthodox people, only to religious people. And he right away, for him it's obvious that the complaint about me was that I didn't serve in the army, but this was a very difficult problem for them, because with my long pants and a black kippah and the army uniform, I created constantly by him a cognitive dissonance. And he was constantly arguing with me about everything. And once he blamed me that we as a Jewish religious people, Orthodox people, we don't have any culture. So I asked him, maybe we do, maybe we don't, but let's first understand what the meaning, how do you define the culture? So he'd answer me that the culture is movies, paintings, literature, music, and so on. I say, no. This is not a definition. This is the same thing like to say that if I ask you what is a chicken, you tell me that it's chicken cutlets, chicken soup, and I don't know, chicken hamburger. He said, no, you don't understand, you don't know that. And again, I was blamed. He became very upset with me, and he again blamed me that I am uneducated and uncultured person. I was okay with that, but why I'm telling you all this? Because in our weekly Torah portion, the first time and the only time in the whole entire Torah appears the word tarbut, that in modern Hebrew means culture. But first of all, let's get to the definition. What is a culture? If you take the scientific definition of the culture, it's more general anthropological terms that unify all the national beliefs, customs, visualization of this in a society that pass from generation to generation. Too complicated for this format. So let's concentrate what the Jewish culture is, how it's defined by the Torah. But first of all, for the background. When the word tarbut, culture, appears in the Torah, when there is an argument between the tribe of Reuven, Gad, and half of tribe of Menashe, who came to Moses when the Jewish people are standing in front of the borderline from Jordan to get to finally, after 40 years in desert, to the land of Israel, and they tell them, listen, we're not gonna go. We're gonna stay here. We have a lot of cattle and the beautiful fields over here of our cattle. So we will stay here on the eastern shores of Jordan, and you will have more territory inside and enjoy and whatever. It's good for you. Moses, he exploded. Why? Because he heard exactly the same words that our ancestors were saying 40 years ago, that why should we go to land of Israel? Because it's very good here as well. We have all the heavenly welfare, and we'll sit and study Torah, and it's good for us. And he was furious, and he started to scream at those representatives of the tribes, and there he said the phrase tarbut anashim chotim, that you inherited the culture of your ancestors who are very much exposed to the sin. Why he is saying this? To understand this, we have to continue the arguments. Obviously, the tribe of Reuven, Gad, and half the tribe of Menashe understood their misdoings, and they said, no, we go together with everybody. We will be in the front lines. We were the military intelligence. We will be the front fighters, the special forces, and we will fight with our brothers until all our brothers inherited their land in the Holy Land. But before that, we just built the places for our cattle and the cities for our children. And here Moses argued with them again, a little bit more calmly. He just answered them, no. First of all, the cities the places to dwell for our children, then the places for your cattle. What Moses tells us? He tells us what is a tarbut, what is a Jewish culture, what is the definition of culture in general. It's a set of priorities, set of values that defines the society. And what is a Jewish culture? Children first, family first, then everything else. And this is what the Jewish culture is. It's not the movies, music, it's not the Chagall and Shalom Aleichem or Oistrach and Perelman. No, they're great guys, but the Jewish culture is a priority. And the first priority, it's a family, it's a children. This is the traditional values that stands in the base and the center of the Jewish tradition. This is a Jewish culture, the family as a priority, and the rest will join the culture. Thank you very much. I see you next week.